Hello and welcome back to the skobuffs SportsCast, episode 4. It's February 7th, 2026, and I'm here with Leo Rivera and a very special guest today, longtime Colorado Buffaloes kicker Alejandro Mata. How you doing, Mata?
I'm great, man. Living life.
How you doing, Leo?
I'm doing pretty fantastic. I'm excited to have Mata on today and hear what he has to say about the season. So,
Yes, we are honored to have you, Alejandro, and you just graduated after 3 years with the Buffs, another year with Jackson State. What have you been up to now? How's graduated life from football?
Man, it's different. It's the first time in my life where I have no idea what the second part of the year is gonna look like for me. I've always had sports, I've always had school, so I'm like, okay, second part, I'm probably gonna be in eighth grade or ninth grade or wherever year it was. But now I'm like, I graduated in May, football's over unless I make the NFL or CFL or whatever league it is. And it's definitely been in the back of my mind. It's definitely a little stressful just because I don't know what the future's gonna hold for me. But we're trying to make it work. We're working every day. We're starting a new diet. I'm already down 10 pounds from the season, and I'm working. I'm working.
That's great to hear. And you finished your career top 10 all time in program history, best all time in field goal percentage of more than 20 attempts, and you declared for the NFL draft. What do you believe that you can bring to whether it be the NFL or any football league that comes your way?
Consistency. I've always been a pretty consistent guy with not just in football but in my life. I have a set schedule. I have a set routine that I stick to, and I truly believe that I'd be able to bring a certain mentality not only to the special teams room but to the team. It's I know how to win. I went to a really prestigious high school in Buford. Obviously, in Jackson won the conference, and then not last season, obviously, but the season before that, with Shador and Travis just having a really good season and being able to know what a locker room looks like a winning locker room.
I'm glad you brought up that winning locker room aspect because I think that's something that's pretty important, just culturally wise. When you talk about the difference between a winning locker room and a losing one, what do you think those big differences are?
Well, the biggest thing I've always noticed is the brotherhood, right? Um, how do I say this? Yeah, like brotherhood, just being able to hang out with each other without having any problems outside of football, because many people think that our life consists of football in the morning, school in the afternoon, and then sleep at night. But it actually goes much deeper into that, whether it's the leaders just making sure that everybody's hanging out with each other, making dinner plans, making lunch plans, making sure that we're all just hanging out together and having a great time.
Yeah, and more on your individual process of just your career in college, and you posted on Twitter those 58 and 63-yard kicks, and then you've made some 60-yarders and warm-ups. But what has been your process been like of evolving as a kicker and just improving throughout your career?
Oh, my biggest thing has always been my power, right? Like, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that I'm accurate until for some reason, I got to 45 and above. But I know what I'm capable of. I know what I've seen at practice. I know what I've done at practice, and I know what the coaches have seen. I didn't have the chance to show them game, sadly, but I know I'll get my chance sooner or later. And it's just showing the people that it's been there. I just got to be able to like perform, I guess.
Yeah, and one of those guys you've been, working with has been Cam Hawkins, long snapper,
Mhm.
been there last couple of years with you. What has that kind of relationship been like, and how do you guys push each other during this process when you guys are both trying to, make it to the next level?
No, man, no, he's my brother, bro. Like he's the guy. He his mentality is set on the NFL. It's NFL or nothing, pretty much. And he's all in with it. He's in there with me every morning. Well, he's in the morning. I'm after class, but he's in there working every day as well. And he's already down 20 pounds, I think. And then he's gonna put on. I think his plan is like 10 muscles a pound or 10 pounds of muscle. Holy crap! I just said that backwards. Um, no, but yeah, he's committed, man. He's a great guy, and honestly, any team would be lucky to have him.
Yeah, and besides him, who have been over your years at Colorado some of your favorite teammates that you've made the best memories with?
Mark, obviously 2 years ago, Mark Bassett, he's pretty cool. And then Damon Greaves, obviously both mates. They're both pretty cool guys. And it's honestly pretty easy to get along with the Australians. I don't know why. They're just really good people. Um, but outside of the spectrum, I've been hanging out with, Andrew Roy. He's coming along. Um, who else? Kareem, Zah, Tristan, just a couple of guys from last year. We're just either playing 2K or getting food or whatever it is, but we're just hanging out.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want to see within a good camaraderie team, like you kind of mentioned about. But kind of going on from like favorite teammates, do you have a favorite memory or like memories over your last 3 years at Colorado?
Well, the easy one would be is just say Arizona State, right? Like, just the one and only game winner I had in my college career. Obviously, pretty special moment, giving us that fourth win in that season. But overall, I'd say a pretty good memory was that blowout against Oklahoma State 2 years ago, just because that's the first time in a minute that I felt like, oh yeah, I can relax on the sideline. If I miss, it's not gonna be a problem. It's all right. Even though I didn't have any field goals that game, it was all PATs. But I haven't felt that way since Jackson, and it felt pretty good.
I mean, that game was a cold one. Certainly, I remember that one for sure. Definitely a lot of good times, but specifically looking at the head coach Deion Sanders. That's the big name. That's the big guy. Why you came to Colorado in the first place? Is there anything special about your time or a reflection of a memory that you like to be able to share?
Well, I mean, the public already knows, the me translating his speech after that game, or him embracing me as a family. But I honestly think that relationship goes a lot more beyond that, just because, like, I know I can go to him with whatever problem I have, whether it's with kicking or even in life. If I have a problem with life, it's just nice having that relationship and that closeness with him, just because. I don't know, it's just a great connection to have throughout life. And it's if I need anything, I know he's there for me.
That's great to hear. And, and beyond the kind of the team aspect of it, the fans have embraced you over your 3 years here and you've become a fan favorite, your the catchphrases and everything. What have been sort of your favorite parts about engaging with the fan base over the years? And what would have been some of them, maybe a funnier aspect of them or something that just stands out?
Well, my favorite part is definitely just after the games. Everybody just comes down to the very edge, and then just have Ivan getting signatures, taking pictures. That's the best part, especially after a win. You feel good. You're taking pictures. The fans love you. Great. But funny moments, I don't think I have one. I've had some pretty normal interactions, I'd say. So nothing too crazy.
All right, going off that then, how about at school? Obviously you're a college student, you still have to come to in-person classes. People see you a lot throughout campus. Have you ever had anyone approach you at school and say something?
Not when I'm like walking to class or anything like that. But last semester I did have it was like one of their friends' birthdays or something, and I had to sign like their birthday card or something. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's really cool. And then looking kind of forward into the future of the program, you were around the
Mhm.
team, while you graduated from playing for them. You saw a lot of the changes that they made starting in this off season. But what about that? What were your biggest takeaways from that, and what kind of excites you the most about the future of the program?
And I saw a lot of weapons. We've always been a big weapons team. We're going back to LeJounte and Will and all those guys. And just seeing this receiver room, I'm pretty excited to see all these catches and the contested catches. I'm excited for the contested catches. I ain't gonna lie to you. But no, to be honest, just overall the whole offense. I'm excited to see the go-go offense. I haven't even seen any like Sacramento State games, but I do want to see what that's going to look like with Juju and with DT and all those guys. And defensively, I'm excited for that defense as well. Like it's something about that D line just looks dangerous, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, they definitely got some big boys up there, in the trenches coming
Hmm.
in, a lot of big names. But specifically looking at those coaches, Brendan Marion's a new guy, obviously, but Rob Livingston's been around. You've had some experience with him. What have you been able to learn from Coach Livingston, and what have you observed from him as a coach?
The number one thing that comes to mind is how he attacks the day. He's always happy. He's always in a good mood, no matter where you catch him. Even in practice, if the defense is for some reason having a bad practice, he's always has a smile on his face. He doesn't let a bad moment affect his day. And that's something I really look up to him for.
Yeah, and going forward beyond the team and then just your time in the state of Colorado and Boulder itself, what have kind of been your favorite places to go, favorite place to hang out, things like that?
So I've said this in a like YouTube vlog before, but the best restaurant in Boulder is El Rincón Argentino over on Folsom. It's a little red building on the corner. Holy crap. I haven't been able to have it recently, because of diet and everything, but you best believe the day after pro day, I'm gonna be there. I am gonna be there. No, but yeah, El Rincón Argentino, the buff is really freaking good as well for some freaking reason. Those pancakes are killers. The white buff that's coffee, oh my gosh, killers. And then you always gotta go to BJ's and get a pasuki. It's got to, got to.
All right. Well, we heard your order from the second two restaurants, but what about the first one? What do you get in there? You got to tell us everything. The fans got to know.
From Rincon.
Yes.
So you go in there, right? And you get so I'm very, very simplistic. I get ham and cheese. I get two of them, and then I got a choripan with no tomato. I don't like tomatoes. Get out of there. Uh, but yeah, choripan. One of those is about maybe like that big, and then some two empanadas about that big, and then you're set. You're good. Oh, and you gotta get the chimichurri. That's crucial. Gotta get the chimichurri.
I gotta stop by. I gotta
You
check
have
it
to,
out.
bro. It's so good. So good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely going on the list.
yeah, I wanted to sort of talk about that because like you've come to Colorado and every time you walk out on the field, you know, you're carrying that Mexican flag and you bring your heritage with you. How important has it been over the years, wherever you've gone in your football career, to kind of incorporate that for the fans?
It's a blessing. It's what I count it as, and being able to represent my country in such aspect in a American dominated sport is honestly, a blessing. Like I said, it's just an opportunity that I take not for granted for sure, but it's just an opportunity that I take advantage of. It's great. It's pride. It's making sure people know that that I'm Latino. There's not much to it. I'm a Latino. I'm proud of it, and I'm playing American football.
I think that's definitely, special, especially in a community like Boulder, which doesn't have a lot of Hispanic representation historically, especially, going
Mhm.
towards that university. But I guess, kind of keeping that moving on outside of football, how do you think you've been able to kind of hold that pride at Colorado as a whole and in the community?
Hmm, that's a good question. Well, I'd say my girlfriend is the one that helps me more with that, just because she's the one that's like made me connect with a lot more Mexican people. She's from Longmont, and so we're always going there and going to like little businesses, and you know, there's this little one spot called Marco's Hot Dogs. I don't know if y'all heard of it. Some really good stuff right there, man. Some really good stuff right there.
Yeah, I definitely growing up around, along my area, I definitely visited that. That's a solid recommendation for
Hmm.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, and I really appreciate those insights. And I have a hard pivot though, because we made a skit a few months ago that talked about your reliability as a kicker, and you commented on it. It was Lincoln, or one of the more, uh, I guess, quirky members of the club, and he was kicking
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that. I remember that.
You said that with great coaching or some coaching, you can make everything. And how did you enjoy that video? And like, where'd you come
Uh,
across it?
I remember I was at the hotel. I forgot which game, but my roommate was Damo, so I showed it to him, and we both just started laughing so hard, man. It was funny. It was fun. It was great. I enjoyed every bit of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that was that Lincoln. He makes a lot of funny stuff. And I remember a couple weeks ago, he made a haiku saying goodbye to Ryan Staub. And it was just like, he'll just come up with the zaniest ideas about the team. But
It
yeah,
was fun.
Leo, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I guess we kind of just want to open up the floor to you, Alejandro. We kind of asked you a lot of different questions, but is there anything, that's on your mind or like a message you want to get across or share?
Hmm. Yeah, actually, I do. It's just a quote that was outside of my locker room in high school that we read on the way out and on the way in from practice. And it says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And, I've lived by that statement my whole life. I make sure that I work hard no matter what it is in life, whether it's in class or in football. But I don't want to live with regret. I want to live with pride. I want to make sure, yeah, I did that. Yes, I dominated that. I want to live by that. I want to make sure I don't want to have any regrets in life. Obviously, there's going to be a couple, but I want to make sure that hard work is never in question for me.
Those are great words. Thank you so much, Alejandro, for joining us.
Of course, appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you, sir. Best of luck in the offseason.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.